Hello everyone. I know it's been a little bit since I've had time to do a meditation, and for right now I've decided not to use the live mode. I'm sorry if there's some disappointment to that. I did it the one time and, and I only had one person, I think, but it was a little bit distracting and just not something I think I'm ready to use, ironically, considering I was so looking forward to it. But today I really felt called. I've kind of had this feeling, but it just wasn't as explosive, and today it became explosive where I need to go out, I need to do this meditation, I'm ready to do this. I've been spending a lot of time reading and going through different thought processes of, is this mine? Is this something I was taught? Is it something that I want to continue to hold? Things like that. And this just digging deeper and deeper and deeper into myself. And it's amazing to me because I feel more and more alive. And like I'm letting go of more and more things. And I'm really enjoying it. I've kind of set up my little meditation spot. I even have a candle burning right now, and I've kind of made the ground sacred in my own way before starting the video. And plans not in the close future, but hopefully in the distant future, of actually having a place that we develop on our property that we can use not only for family gatherings like s'mores and things like that, but also for reflection and meditation as well. And so it's been fun to start to plan and get back outside more and more and more, since last year was so difficult. I have done another round of acupuncture, and I'm very encouraged with the person that I have seen. And so I guess that's kind of my quick notes for right now. I'd like to dive into this meditation because I know I have a little baby who's crawling and almost ready to walk. And she's just everywhere right now, but she loves mommy the most. But I do want to also, in the same breath, give this meditation the time and energy, effort that it deserves as well, and that you all deserve. So without further ado, if you can get comfortable, whether you want to be seated or if you would like to be laying down, whatever is your personal preference when you meditate. And I'd like to just start with, once you're comfortable, taking a deep breath in, letting your belly expand, your chest, but really even lower down your belly, and everything should be expanding out as well. And I'm not really attached to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth or anything. That should all be comfortable to you. But getting that good deep breath in, expanding that belly, holding it for a second or two, and then exhaling and your tummy going in. Let's do a few more, just kind of like a deep cleansing breath to get us in the mood for this meditation. Deep breath in. And exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale. And one more deep breath in. And exhale. Now I want you to imagine a golden cord coming from your root chakra, going deep into the earth. And this cord may be as thin as a thread or as thick as a giant rope for a boat. It can be anything and everything in between. Just, it's your golden cord attaching you deep into the earth. You might see it going into the ground and rooting out like the roots of a tree. Let's take another deep breath in. And exhale. Another deep breath in. And exhale. And now I want you to imagine your crown chakra opening, bringing in source light and energy. We welcome in our guides, our ancestors, angels, aliens, fairies, anyone and everyone for our highest good, for our highest timeline. Deep breath in. Feel the source light and energy coursing through you from your crown, through all of your chakras, and exiting through your root chakra and your feet. Deep breath in. And exhale. And now I want you to imagine a light in your heart chakra. This is what some may see as their soul or their source energy in their body, or any other word that is meaningful to you. And I want you to see this light in your heart and hold it. And then feel it expanding and growing larger and larger and larger until it begins to encompass your whole body and is touching your outside aura, so that you are fully enveloped and held from head to toe in your own source energy, surrounded and held and loved by all who are with you on this journey, by Source, by your higher self. And right now, I want you to envision a rainbow in front of you, like the ones you may remember from childhood when you would see one and you would be awe-inspired. And this rainbow is beautiful and it's large. And when you look more closely, you can see that there are small steps throughout it. And we begin down at the violet and go through the colors, stepping through them all. And it can be as many steps or as few steps. It may just be 5 steps for you. But we're going to step back into childhood. For some of us, childhood may have been idyllic, peaceful, an opportunity for growth and expansion. However, I think for many there's points of childhood that are lacking, whether it was generational trauma passed down, trauma from our own parents. And I want you to think of that one moment in time where you just weren't a child anymore. You felt like all the fantasy and the fairies and the fun and the play was just, it wasn't the same anymore. There was too much to do, and for some of us this will be very young, and for some of us this may be getting into adolescence. But whenever it is, I want you to see yourself at the other side of this rainbow. And I want you to see you, this child that may not have been ready to let go of childhood, may not have been ready to grow up, may not have been ready to have things imposed upon them, whether from society or religion or family or even friends. And you're now at the end of the rainbow, looking at yourself as a child. Some of you may have to kneel down to be eye to eye, or to go down on one knee. But I want you to look at yourself. Tell yourself, it's okay, we made it. We're discarding those layers. We're coming back to you, to ourselves. It is okay. All of this shaped us. And we are so amazing now. And so there's nothing to be sad or upset about. We are okay. And many of you are already hugging yourselves. But if you haven't, give yourself permission to hug and love yourself now, in this moment. To deep breathe. and find that love and freedom, discarding all the notions that are not yours, to become childlike once again with your curiosity and your love. And you'll recall at the beginning of our meditation, you felt your soul light, your soul source, your soul energy growing larger. And now you can feel it coming together, merging together. The present and the past, discarding all the thoughts and ideas, the difficulties that are not yours to have and to be burdened with. And to relax into being you. And you're happy to be you. You came here to do amazing things, to learn amazing things, to love in amazing ways. And there's not one other soul on this entire planet that is like you. You are amazing. You are unique. You make the rules. As we leave behind our childhood, another rainbow appears. And our child self is now infused with us. We don't have to carry the burdens they're left behind. So any burdens from childhood or even into our adult past that we no longer wish to carry, you have permission. You can demand that you leave them here where they can just fade away. Any trauma, any pain, discontent, it just stays behind. We are always shedding, and it is okay to shed whatever you need to shed now. And so we begin walking on more steps on our next rainbow. And here we see our present self. And we are so happy and grateful for all the work that we've done. This person has awakened and grown and continues to grow every day. And we are now so much more in love with ourselves than we have ever been, because we don't have those burdens anymore, those imposed beliefs that are not ours. They're gone. And as we're sitting here and we're glowing, our soul or source energy in ourselves is shining brightly. We're in our light and energy and happiness. I want you to begin to imagine your future self coming. What do you look like? What are you doing? And knowing that that future self, you are limitless, you are unburdened. There are no restrictions except for what you put on yourself. So how do you see you? Who is walking towards you? If this is creating anxiety for you, then step back. Evaluate why you are afraid. Take a deep breath. And I want you to hold a piece of that future self, the direction. And if you're too anxious right now, or too blocked, whatever word you might use, then just know there's going to be a moment where you're going to be relaxed, and this will come to you. It may be a dream, maybe a daydream, just a random thought. But this part of the meditation will carry with you until you know and have that intention of how you see your future self. For those of you that have grabbed that from your future self and see the intention and see the direction and know where you're going, I want you to just drink that in and let it also continue to brighten you, brighten your soul. Your aura now is like a rainbow. It's flashing all the colors. You might see it like a unicorn's horn, where it's like opal and it looks beautiful and just shining every color. And that's how we are when we're in tuned with ourselves and know what we're doing. We're excited, and yet in the same breath there's this relaxation because we don't have to be too attached. We can see the intention and where we're going and say, okay, show us, universe, show us how it happens. I believe, I trust, and we let go. And when those gut instincts and impulses hit you, turn left here, or let's do this today in a different order, you'll know that was the universe talking to you, making shifts to make things happen. Now we're back at our bodies. We're standing outside them. We can see the grounding cord and our glowing white bodies with the opal shimmer along the outside. And on the count of 3, we're going to go back into our bodies with all of those burdens gone. They can't come with us. Our light won't let it come in. And on the count of 3, we will come back into our bodies. We will be refreshed. We will be excited, happy, knowing the universe and ourselves have amazing things in store for us. 1, 2, 3. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. You might take a few moments before you open your eyes. Let your eyes adjust. I really enjoyed that myself. I really hope the rest of you did too. It's interesting, my candle literally burnt itself out while we were doing that, and I kind of wonder when it did. If it was when we're letting everything go in our childhood, or if we're leaving it up to the universe for the future. Both would be perfect moments for that. I'm very curious how everybody is doing on their own journeys. Not to compare, but just to encourage. So if you would like to comment in the comments for this video, that'd be fabulous. Everything is a spiral, and it goes deeper and deeper, just keeps becoming more and more true for myself. There's always these layers to shed. It's funny, I can remember that we've done other meditations where we've kind of closed the door and, said we're done with that. And it's so interesting that now there's new things to discard, and it's almost snake-like. We're shedding our skin and we're becoming closer and closer to ourselves, and yet this new person in this body who we maybe have never been before. And I quite like that and enjoy that. I find myself frequently going, why do I believe this, and why is this way, and do I want to continue believing it? I'm reading things that, in another lifetime, people would go, oh, that's heretical, or you'd be a heretic. But there's so many things that I'm like, oh, this is so close, this feels right. And I'm enjoying it. And I think your soul, or your higher self, connected, you know what is right for you. When there's that uneasiness feeling when you know something is not for you, and yet you're forcing yourself to do it. And I think back, and so much of my life was that way. And I do think it can make you, if you look at it, there's so many different ways to look at things, aren't there? And you can have the perspective of, this sucks, I want to redo it, but in the same breath, that's what got me here. And what if I never got here because I never allowed myself to be on the journey to get here? And would redoing it make all of that not possible? Or would it, there's just too many what ifs. And so I'm very happy right now. I've said before, and I'll say again, the illness has served multiple levels of purpose for me, from what some people might consider superficial to very deep revelations. And I think I'm ready to let go of it, however letting go of it looks. And in some ways, I'm like just ready to say, yep, this is it, and I'm going to live with this forever. And then there's another part of me that's like, but I'm willing to let that go and not live with it forever too. And I don't really care. And that's a very powerful place to be when you just don't care and you're like, show me, universe, show me. Show me what's next. And I have ideas and I set out intentions, and but I'm never attached to how they'll turn out, or I try not to be attached to how they turn out. So I'd really love to hear where everybody else is as well, because I'm really enjoying life in with these layers shed. And there's times I go, was I ever really alive? I mean, I was going through the motions of living, but was I alive? And my kids have added other layers, discarded, where I'm just like, you know, it makes me remember parts of my childhood. Where am I remember being that age. I remember being 10. How do I want somebody to talk to me at 10 or 17 or 7 or 4? Um, so I guess that's part of my journey, and I could probably keep talking and talking and talking, but I won't. I hope everyone is well. I hope if you're going through your own struggles, you were able to release some of that. And I think anytime you know that you've had a kind of big development or aha moment, or, you know, where you gotta let it go, this would probably be the meditation for you. Um, one of the books I'm reading talks about elves and fairies and unicorns and rainbows and just all of those things, and how important they are. And we had a rainbow the other night. I didn't get to see it firsthand, but my kids took pictures of it, and it was over our property. And I just think that's you know, a beautiful, magical sign from the universe that we're exactly where we need to be. And this is just such a beautiful moment in time for me. And I'm just enjoying all of it so fully. Like, I'm very satisfied. And I try to stay in that state of satisfaction and happiness as much as possible. And it's really funny because things that used to just bother me don't. And when something does, I'm vocal about it, but I'm gently vocal about it, where I'm having conversations that I've probably needed to have for 20, 30 years, maybe longer. Um, but it's opening and making relationships better. And I am loving that. So, if you'd like to open up a little bit in the comments, again, I'd love to hear where other people are at. Not, there's no, it's not a ranking system. It's just I'd love to encourage other people too with where they're at and say, good job. I'm so glad you're letting that go, or you've worked through that, whatever it may be. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this meditation. If you find you need to let something else go again, then please feel free to do the meditation again. And there's other meditations that I have for kind of letting go of these layers and stuff. If you go back in the videos, there's one that's it's closing the door and going through another, and all have different meanings at different times, as far as that goes. So I better get inside soon. I think I'm gonna have a very impatient baby. But my love to you all, and I will see you next time.